Welcome to Andy's Garage. I'm Andy Phillips. Today we are back here in the garage working on the Countach project. Did a lot of things since our last video where we finished up the final paint. If you want to see that video, I'll have the link across the top, also down in the description, along with all the other 60 videos that are part of this restoration project. But today we're going to take a look at what I did since then. So let's go ahead and get started. So the main thing that I wanted to focus on after that last video, we obviously let the car dry really good. I wanted to focus on refinishing all the vents. If you've been watching this project since the beginning, you would have seen when we got it, we had to remove a lot of vents from the intakes there. We also had them on the sides near the door handles down low. And then I added on the ground effect, this particular mold that was used for this replica that they made as a kit car as well. The mold on the side scoop, and I'll show you in a minute, was very smooth, didn't have anything there. Well, on the real ones that had the Koenig special body package, which this has, which is the intakes down low and that beefed up kind of wheel well around the rear wheels, it has an intake there. So I had drilled that out and routed that out long ago. So one of the things I wanted to do was take some expanded steel and bend that to shape that and paint that and put that in place. We were able to do that as well. Also was able to do some of the black accents on the vehicle around the rear vents towards the very back near the wing. Also where the door handle, that cutout is, we did that in black, some right here. Also did the headlight assemblies, finished those as well. So, oh, and then one other thing, we also got the doors properly aligned. When I got this car, I don't know if the former owner had messed with the hinges or the company that built the replica in Florida, if they just didn't mount the hinges properly, but the doors never really closed really smooth like they should. So you either had to kind of push it in or out and slam it and really get it to catch. The driver door was rubbing on one spot, which was destroying the paint and then even cracking the fiberglass. So I was able to fix all that, spent a lot of time aligning them and even putting some shims in there on the hinges to really get it right. And I think I've got the doors as good as I can get them. So we're going to take a look at that. It's never going to be 100% perfect because the particular mold that this replica was built off of is not the best, as we've already mentioned in some of the videos. There's some things where it looks really good and then some things that are way off. The doors are one thing that were not done too well. So even at their best, they're not going to fit as nice and clean as on a real Countach. So I think we got it as good as we can. But enough of me talking. Let's go around and I'll show you what we did. Here's the door intake right there that I'm talking about. You can see how that's all been painted nice and black. I even added right there, this particular vehicle has automatic doors, right? So you push a button on the key and it will pop the door automatically. So you don't need that button that the real Countach has, but I wanted it to look like the real thing when you're seeing it. So I added that. And if we come along here, I'll show you what I did, is I even put an actual key lock in there as well. It's just a dummy. It doesn't really serve any purpose. I just wanted it to look like the real deal. So we did that. So we were able to get all that painted. Here's some videos real quick that I'm going to show you of me painting this, masking it, and working on the vents. And then we'll be back to look at the final thing. So now that you saw kind of the process that I did getting all that ready, I'm going to go around the vehicle now. I'm going to show you how it looks, and then we'll conclude this, this brief kind of touch base since that last video. Here's my vent here. Now this one here is the one that I refinished and put back in. That came with the vehicle. This one here did not, because on the real Countach, this is your intake for the radiator. So this right here, this whole vent right here comes off. It's a separate piece, and then it's kind of boxed in. Take a look at this clip of a real one that I did an overview on. So I added this so that way it has a little bit of a purpose to it here, but on the real one that's coming into the radiator, I still need to add the windows here on both sides, and we'll do that after the car is sanded and polished and ready to go. But if you want to see the Countach that I'm going to be referencing in this video, the real one, I did an overview on that one. It's a 5000 QV. A friend of mine has an exotic car dealership. He had that on his lot for a while, and I was able to get some really good references on it for my project here and also do a review on it. You can check that out via the link above down in the description. But that's one of the vents there. If we come down here, the real Countach does not have a vent right here. Normally this is open so you can get to the gas cap as we've shown in other videos, but here's an image of the real one. You can see it. But this particular one here, it had a vent, so we put that in there, and you can see how it looks here from that side. And then coming down here, we have this side vent, which the Koenig Specials had as well. Now this one does connect to the actual intake. If we come here, you can see it back in there. That's the real intake from the Fiero. So that is serving a purpose. And then this is the one that I added down here at the bottom. Normally this was all smooth right here, but I drilled that out, and then we put the expanded metal right there. You can see it. And right now it's just going into the wheel well, but I'm going to add some duct work to this one, and then also to this one, taking it into the engine bay. If we work our way here to the back, we put these here. Now these had been refinished before, but I made it all black. The real one, this vent is actually one whole piece that goes in there, so it has that black frame. So I added the black around it. Had a little bit of some, kind of ran over a little bit, but when we sand the car down for the final polish, that'll be taken off. Also here, on this part here, you can see a little rough right in there. That'll be cleaned up as well. But if we come up here to the back, we added these vents back in. So if you come back here, you can see those going there to the engine bay. And what I used was a JB Weld compound for bonding metal to fiberglass. Had a little bit of an issue with it because this was upside down. Didn't realize that some had dripped. And when I lifted it, we have a little bit there, a little dab up there. And then if we come in here, you can see where some hit right there, and then even on the vent. I was able to get that one off. Fiberglass, I can't, because once that dries, that stuff's solid. So the only way is to sand it. So when we do the final sanding, we'll clean all that off. And then I'm going to have to go around and touch up on the vents there. Some of the vents got some little scratches on it when I was getting them in place. So once the vehicle is done, we will actually come back and do a little bit of touch up. No real issues with the silver except on one of the doors. It got a little bit nicked. So we'll come back. Here's the other fan on this side too. You can see that, the intake. And then these are going to be screwed in. They're just laid in place. And then on this one here, you can see the same thing. We have the little knob. You have the vent there. Now that vent just goes into the engine bay. Same with that one and that one. So we're going to be running some duct, taking that up into the engine area as well. So it serves a purpose with that. And then if we come along here to the front, I added black right here because on the real one, this center piece is a separate piece. This one, it was all smooth. So I had actually taken a little Dremel tool when we were doing the body work and kind of notched it out in there to make it look more real. So I went and added the black in there. So now you have the clear lines. And then you probably can't tell here, but I also repainted these right here. This is actually that reflective metallic silver as opposed to this metallic silver on the body, so it matches what the real Countachs have. Take a look. So once the car's done and we put the turn signal and the light fixture in here, we'll put the clear acrylic over here with the black frame and it'll look nice. Pop-up headlight assemblies have just been laid in place right here. Still need to get those set up, so that's why they look a little wacky right now. But if we open it, let me pop this one up. That one I can't because it's just laying in there. But let me lift this one up so you can take a look and see how the lights look now that they've been refinished as well. So if we lift it here, and this is just loosely in place, but we lift it up, it pops up. All this is painted black all around here, like on the real one. So you have your body color on the top, and then the framing around the actual bulbs, and then all of this surround is all black. That way it has that nice clean look when they pop up. But take a look at a real one. So I still need to do that as far as putting the motors in, getting them aligned properly. And then if we take a look at the doors, I'll show you how easy they go in place. I'll manually. So they lift up nice and straight. You can just grab the handle and just close it real simple like that. Where before there was a little bit of a struggle. Now, the gas struts that are in there now, they're 80 pounds, which is way too strong. So it's actually pushing up, which is why you're having that. It's kind of lifting up, and if I let it go, it goes way too fast. So I have new ones being ordered that are only 50 pounds, which should be a lot better for this. And then it will also take it up a little bit higher. Right now, these are going up 19 3/4 inches. Really want it to go around 21 inches because the doors on a real Countach, when they're up, they're a little straighter up. These are more swept back, and what's happening, it's obstructing when you're backing up and you got to sit on the ledge. You're kind of tight in that corner because it's not going up all the way. So those should be in. We'll have them in place for the next video. But let me show you here the driver one as well. Same thing with this one. You just grab the handle, bring it down, and it closes real easy. Which, as I mentioned already, it was something that really bothered me ever since I got it, is the doors were just out of whack. You either had to push on them a little bit, pull them a little bit, slam them hard. They were banging and it was chipping things, and it was just a mess. So it was a little bit of a challenge. If you've ever worked on a Lamborghini Countach replica, aligning the doors can be challenging. And you really want to get it just right, and you got to really work with the angles and shim it a little bit and really play with it to get it just perfect. But let me get a shot here from the back, and I'll show you. It's pretty flush, not perfect as we said, because this is not the best mold, but I think it's as good as we can get it. But take a look. Also added right here, put a neoprene kind of gasket that I put there with 1/8 inch thick rubber. Just, I don't like the wing being right up against the body because it always puts pressure on the finish. And it did that when I got the vehicle. So we put that on both ends here. You can see it right there. And we're also going to use that when we put the side view mirrors in to kind of seal around that as well. And then looking here on the windshield, you can see how the pillars on the sides are real thick. On a real Countach, you don't have any. The windshield goes to the door because the pillars are on the inside. So we're going to extend the molding to fill all that to make the windshield look wider. And then also here on the side windows, we're going to bring the molding longer and a little more of a dip down like on the real one to shape it better, so that'll look more proportional. A little bit of overspray got on that rear tire, and I don't know how since I had it masked, but we need to get that off as well. And then still need to get the front scoop that goes down there. And then once we lower the car, it needs to be lowered about 1 inch on the passenger side, 2 inches on the driver. That'll bring it down. And then the wheel well liners need to be put in. That way you don't have that big open gap like that'll be all black there. And then there's one that goes here in the back that connects to the underneath. So that's it for this video. Just wanted to touch in, since the last paint thing that we did, wrapping it up, just show you where we are right now. Next video, we're going to let the car now sit for a few weeks, and then we're going to sand it down, as we've mentioned in previous videos, with some very fine wet sandpaper. Probably start with a 1500 or 2000, go up to 5000. Get rid of all the orange peel, get it really smooth, and then we're going to polish it real good. Once that's done, then we can put the windows in. We can put all of the molding around the windows, the molding around the windshield. We can put the weather stripping around the doors, the engine cover, the hood. Also the black line that goes right along here and here, because on a real Countach, these are added on. This is a separate body panel, so we're going to do that as well. And then we're just going to touch up anything. As mentioned already, some of the black got a little bit damaged putting them in after we finished it, so we're going to come back, touch that up. If there's any issues back there where that JB weld got on there and we need to touch up the silver, we'll do that. Have a couple little spots right here on the inside of the door. When I was aligning it, it got nicked. Just things like that. We'll just go over and detail it, touch things up, and then that will take care of the body at that point. And then we'll get the headlight motors put in, and then the suspension, and done with this thing finally. And then we'll be able to take it out on the road and try it out and have some fun with it. But that wraps up this video. Just checking in here on the Countach project. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you're enjoying this whole series of this restoration project. As mentioned already, the other videos will be down in the description, as well as the link to the real Countach that I did the overview on. Also, I've done other Lamborghinis as well. Huracan STO, Huracan Evo. Done a few McLarens, a 765 LT to 720S, some Ferraris, 488 GTO. The Ferrari 4, I believe was a 499 GTB or GTO also, I'm not sure. But several other cool cars that we've done on this channel. You can check those out as well if you're into exotic cars, things like that. But that wraps up this video. Please like. Don't forget to subscribe. Send me any questions, comments. I would love to hear from you, and I'll see you next time.